Let's start things off with a look at this rice buying program and what a mess Thailand's got itself into.
Well, actually, what got them into it is the desire to support rice farmers' incomes, and this is actually happening in a lot of other countries in the region as well: China, Indonesia, the Philippines. The big difference is that Thailand is an exporter. The other countries can raise prices without any fiscal outlays, but that's not possible for an exporting country like Thailand.
You can't then, we've got this auction of this rice taking place, 1,000,000 tons of the stuff coming onto the market. I mean, that's going to just really, really drive prices much, much lower, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to be optimistic about prices going higher. It seems like this will, definitely depress the market further. And I mean, prices now in inflation-adjusted U.S. dollar terms are back to about what they were before the big crisis in 2008.
What about this rice itself, the physical rice? I think this rice buying program was it's 2011 or thereabouts. This goes back to here as well. I mean, what sort of state is this rice actually in?
Yeah, that's a big unknown. It will make it very risky for buyers who are not really in the know. They don't know what kind of quality they'll be getting. I mean, some of this rice, it's hard to know. Some of it may be a couple years old. Some of it may only be a year old. But the quality, that's a big unknown. It's a big risk for anybody who wants to buy it.
Do you think they'll be able to offload it?
Will they be able to offload it? All of it, that's going to be very difficult. I mean, over the next year and a half. They're, I think, going to have to consider putting some of it into animal feed, ethanol, possibly selling some to aid organizations to get it to people who otherwise couldn't afford it.
Yeah, and a lot will also, of course, depend on your view at the Food and Agriculture Organization's take on, A, what the rice harvest is going to be like through this year, and indeed what demand is going to be like as well. And so what's your view on that?
Well, yes, the dry season crop in Thailand will definitely be down. There's some water shortages that have left water levels in the dams low, and so that will provide a little bit of support to prices that you wouldn't see otherwise. And we'll have to see how when the rains start again. That'll determine when farmers can get a new crop in the ground. On the demand side, the outlook's not really very strong. I mean, the biggest importers, Nigeria, China, Indonesia, and the Philippines, have pretty good levels of stocks, as the world does as a whole. And so it's hard to see them going in a big way for more rice.
Now, so if we assume that prices go down a little bit and they stay low for a while, will this result in Thai farmers actually, or Thai rice farmers, planting other crops, i.e. substituting rice?
Well, yeah, that's the big question about how that will work. And it won't work only in Thailand. I mean, you may see some of that in other countries like Vietnam and Pakistan as well. They may switch to other crops. The thing about rice is it's not very risky. And so for poor farmers, it takes a bit to move them off of that. To plant another crop involves a lot of risk. Sometimes it involves more capital. Rice is pretty predictable. It's often grown under irrigated conditions. So, I mean, that's the big question. But that will dictate, when prices eventually, that'll put a floor under prices somehow when farmers start switching to other crops.